morning. Morning. We're gonna get started. Yeah. Get your mat ready. And all the things that you might need, foam roller, etc. We're gonna start. It's so early. Usually I am not up doing this at this time. Anywho, c'est la vie, right? Yeah, so welcome to Kitchen Classes. What we do now, Kitchen Classes has evolved over the past year plus. And now with it being so early in the morning, we start with a nice little 5-minute grounding meditation, guided meditation to just sort of like get us here. And then we'll spend about 45 minutes to an hour foam rolling and stretching. And then we go on to our kitchen-based conditioning and technique and into our phrase. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go back to something I was doing before. And I'm going to do the full class. And when we get to the phrase, I'm going to stop the video and then start a new one just in case, because it's a new song. And I don't know what IG is going to do if they kick me off. And I don't feel like losing an hour and a half's worth of stuff over the song. So I'm going to end up starting again. But when I put it on my YouTube, it'll all be connected as one. All right, let's have a seat on your mat. And let's get started.
Welcome to today. Allow your eyes to open with gratitude in the breath of oxygen that you breathe so easily, and in the atmosphere of everything you touch. You see today as an opportunity to feel every positive emotion and give back positivity to anyone you meet. It's much harder and costs a lot more energy to be negative. Let yourself be free in the giving and receiving of the flowing energy of others. Notice where your path will lead today, even from small goals that bring some kind of peace to you within. Be aware of how your body is guiding you in the right direction, and sensing willingness to move forward without hesitation. Where there is hesitation, perhaps a moment to contemplate is needed. You want the best for yourself, and if that means sitting on an idea or something that someone says, then patience to gain a visualization of where that path will lead is the best solution. It's okay to pause for a while, to think about things. Sometimes doing things on the spur of the moment can cause unnecessary upset. And by taking the time to delve into your intuition, you can make the best decisions for yourself. Go about today with a light feeling of freshness. Feel as though your feet are floating on air. This is how you will find positivity. Be open to new ideas. Take a different approach, guided by your intuition or your first thought. Do everything with a deliberate and positive action. You are your own destiny. Everything felt by you, from your emotions and mood, can be controlled better with awareness. feel of the day will improve by noticing the small things around. Like a garden you pass that you never saw before, or the true intentions of someone you know. See positivity from everything in this day. As you open up your intuition, you can only gain and advantage yourself. Give yourself permission to ask the questions needed to clarify what you need to know and to where it may lead. Today is yet another opportunity to better your life. Question motives of others and yourself to see the true intent, clearing up confusions of any clouded situations. Let the sun inside you shine with a warmth of positive rays that attract only like-minded people. Be free by starting your day with a deep and fresh inhalation of positive and refreshing oxygen. And as you release even slower, you feel ready to take your first step into today.
All right. We're going to stay seated on the mat and do some stretching and just getting the blood to circulate and flow. And so let's just drop the right ear to the right shoulder and back to the center and drop to the other side. Not trying to stretch, just letting the weight of the head take you over from one side to the other. Good, one more time, right and left. And then we'll come back to center and bring the arms out to the side and up. Ooh, hello. Bring those hands together. You can interlace your fingers. Bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Drop them down. Feeling your back widening. Opening up the chest. Just holding here for a moment. And again, lift the shoulders up. Inhale. And exhale. Drop them down while keeping the back wide. And opening up the arms to the mat. And slide your right hand over and just letting the side of the torso open up gently. And coming up and just slide gently towards the other side. Again, up and towards the right again. And up and to the left. Very good. And take the right hand and bring it to the left side of the head and gently just let your hand rest on that side, opening up the left shoulder, dropping the shoulder down, lifting up in those abdominals, finding that opposition to open up that side of the body. We're going to release the hand, drop the chin to the chest, and just hang here for a moment. Bringing the hands behind the head, gently interlacing the fingers, and pressing the head into the hands while you're pushing the hands towards the head. Again, sitting nice and tall. We're going to release that. We're going to take the left hand over to the right side, and just gently let it rest on top of the head. Bringing your awareness to that right side, opening up the side of the neck, dropping that shoulder down the spine, lifting up in the abdominals, finding the opposition. And release that. We'll take it again, bringing both hands to the back of the head, interlacing the fingers, pressing the head into the hands and the hands into the head. Sitting nice and tall. And releasing the hands down by the side, dropping the chin all the way down to the chest. And lifting it up towards the ceiling. And down to the chest. And lifting up. And so as we're dropping our chin to our chest, we're not collapsing in the torso, but actually lengthening up the spine even more. So it's like I'm imagining that my spine is going all the way up towards the ceiling, and it's not necessarily curving over. The head is just relaxed to the front. And looking up to the ceiling. One more time, dropping the chin to the chest, lifting the back of the body, dropping those shoulders down, and up towards the ceiling. Bring your head to center and look to the right, gently, and left, and right again, and left. And when we get to the right side, we're going to take a half circle. So go to the right, and drop the chin down, seeing the space, and up towards the left. Again, down from the left all the way to the right. And it's just gentle head rolls. Again, about circulation and lengthening the body, not about stretching yet. And this time we're going to come down to the left and continue that circle up to the back half of the body. Looking to the right and half circles left. Breathing as we go. I'm breathing clearly because I'm talking, but you want to be intentional about your breath. Drop your chin to your chest. We're going to take full circles all the way around, seeing the entire space. Really turning your head to the side as you get to the sides, and not just letting the ears move and keeping the head to the front, but really twisting and turning the head around. And let's reverse that and go the other way. Drop the chin to the chest to the right. See the right side. Trace it up the wall to the ceiling, over to the left. Drop the chin down. And not collapsing in the middle as you drop the chin, but lengthening the spine up a little taller. Very good, and come back to your center. So we'll drop the chin to the chest first, and just lift the head up. And bring the arms up, hands together. Lifting out of the side body, feeling the armpits rotating to the front. Gonna release the hands, and just gently bring the body forward. Just relaxing. And you're gonna rock side to side gently. Feeling the lumbar spine opening up. Letting that blood circulate and flow in there. We're gonna walk yourself up. And this time we're gonna lengthen a little bit further, so slide out to the right and lift the left arm. And if you can get your right forearm on the floor, that's great, as long as the left side of the pelvis is down. So you don't want to be leaning over, but you just want to go over as far as you can while keeping the pelvis connected to the mat. Opening up the torso towards the front so you're not curving and bringing the arm in front of you, but that the arm is right on top of the ear. And lift yourself up, and we're going to go towards the other side, lifting the arm on the right side. Again, not crunching. I'm thinking about lifting up and just really creating a large arc while keeping the right side on the floor. I'm also pushing into the left hand to help support the shape. And I'm going to come up and over to the other side, sliding that hand out gently, but then pushing into the floor to open up that left side. Head is forward, dropping that right shoulder. And one more towards the left. Again, pushing into the mat. We're going to continue to circle the right arm down towards that diagonal and just reaching over that left leg. And come back to your laterals and up. And left arm goes over towards the right side. And continue circling. So really reaching forward, articulating that back. Just towards the right diagonal. And walking the hands forward. And just resting here. Very good. And walking yourself up. And we're going to switch legs. So if you have your right leg in front, you'll switch. If you have your left leg in front, you'll switch. Hello. arms to the side, right arm goes up and over towards the left. Continue to circle, find that diagonal, feeling both sides of the pelvis on the floor, feeling a little bit of support in the hands, so I'm pushing against the floor. Come back through my lateral and up to the other side. Left arm is up over the head. Continue to circle to the side, finding that diagonal on the right, pushing the hands into the floor, both sides of the pelvis on the floor. And I'm going to walk myself to the front and just hang here. If you want to rock side to side, you can. I always find that that helps me to feel the tightness maybe in my back, or where the looseness is, or if there's anything that I'm going to want to bring my awareness to throughout the next 2 hours. And bring yourself up. Very good. And we're going to bring our feet together, soles of the feet together, and just sitting nice and tall for a moment. And for me, what I'm doing is I'm going to hold my feet, but I'm rocking my pelvis front like this, side to side. Just feeling it sort of open, and I'm gathering my information about how my pelvis is feeling today. Very good. And from here, we're going to keep our hands on the outside of our ankles, and our elbows are not going to be on the inside of the thighs, but the elbows are going to trace the front of the leg, so in front of the shin when we get to that moment. So at first, when your hands are on the outside of the ankles, we're going to contract down. And now we're going to drop our head forward. The elbows are bending and sliding towards the front of the leg. And we're going to lengthen the spine on the diagonal and lift up. Very good. And contracting back and dropping the head, opening up the back nice and wide, lengthening the spine and looking up. And coming back again, off the pelvis, rounding down, lengthening the spine and lifting up. And let's reverse that and go forward. Arms are on the outside of the legs. Drop the head down towards the feet. Round the spine back off the pelvis and lengthen up, sitting tall. Again, we'll do this 2 more times. Forward, and we're just being gentle with the body. Rounding back, sending it behind the pelvis and sitting tall. Last one, forward. And heads down. And bring it back. And lift it up. Very good. Bring the legs parallel and just straighten. Allow the blood to sort of circulate back into the legs. And I'm just sort of massaging the muscles, allowing that circulation to sort of happen. And again, down the feet. Oh yes, and I'm cracking. And roll your ankles a little bit. And go the other way. Very nice. And I want to start with some spinal twists on the floor before we get on our foam roller. So let's go ahead and find our way onto our backs. Oh yes. And rounding the spine down, or flattening the spine onto the floor. And so what I'm trying to do is bring my awareness to my shoulders and make sure that my shoulders are not up towards the front, but that I'm actually opening them up and widening the back onto the floor as much as possible, engaging those abdominals so that my lower back doesn't have a big curve in it. And then we're just going to bring the knees into the chest, and actually maybe we just bring one knee at a time and allow the back to sort of just melt into the floor. Circle the ankle here. And let's draw little circles with the knee. So what I'm doing while I'm drawing the circles is that I'm supporting the right side. So my right foot is flat on the floor. And as I'm opening up the knee, my left knee to the side, I'm not losing the right side of my pelvis. So the circles don't have to be very big. It's really about the action of circling in the pelvis and not about the distance away from the joint. And then we're going to reverse and take your circles the other way. And again, thinking about bringing your awareness to the right side, so that the right side is not moving all around, but it's actually supporting the rotation. Very good. And let's put that left foot down, or whatever foot it is that you have, and switch to the other side. And just sort of rest here for a moment. And I'm interlacing my fingers to help bring a little bit more press into the hip flexor, rolling the ankle gently. Go the other way as well. And finding that parallel position on the left side, engaging those abdominals, lengthening the spine onto the mat. We take our circles on the opposite leg into that joint. And again, they're just gentle circles, nothing super huge or dramatic. Nice and slow, or at a pace that feels good for you. Bringing your awareness to the left side this time, so that, or whatever the stable side is, to make sure that that knee is not falling away from center. And let's reverse the directions of whatever your circles are. Let's do 2 more circles. Very good. And let's bring both knees into the chest. And just sort of rest here a little bit. Rock the pelvis side to side. Making sure that we're breathing. And next time that you're on one side, drop the knees towards that direction. Opening up the back and just allowing both shoulders to be flat on the floor. For me, I like to look to the ceiling, but if you want to take your head and turn it in the opposite direction of where the knees are, that's fine too. If you need a little bit deeper of a stretch, you can take the top leg and lift the top leg up a little bit closer towards your armpits. And again, finding that resistance by trying to make sure that the shoulders are on the floor, creating that spiral position. And let's drop that top leg and take a little circle and come back to center. Ooh, hello. And just drop the knees side to side gently. Very good. And bring the knees back into the chest. And we're going to go to the other side. So rocking first, breathing and relaxing into the mat, and dropping your knees to the opposite side now, opening up that other arm and keeping both shoulders on the floor. Again, I like to look at the ceiling, but feel free to take your head in the opposite direction of the legs, taking a nice twist. And if we want to lift the top leg up towards the armpit a little bit, you can. To get a deeper twist, that's fine. Oh, all right, and release the top leg. Lengthen it out. Just give it a little shake. Very good. Dropping your chin to your chest and just walking yourself up. You can grab your foam roller. And we'll get ourselves set up. Ooh, hello. Both feet are on the floor. I'm going to lift my hips up and find the lowest part of my spine. And again, I'm taking my hands towards the outside of my foam roller. And what I want us to do is just drop the one leg down to touch the floor and come up. And again, just lengthening forward. I'm not trying to muscle this. I'm literally just like letting the weight of my leg come down, and you'll feel the quad lengthen. You'll feel the hips lengthen as well, the hip flexors. And so this is just a gentle opening, nothing too crazy, not trying to stretch, just bringing our awareness into the body. Very good. And we're going to rock here side to side at the top of the pelvis. I like to go a little bit lower than where my hips are, just so that I'm on the top of the glutes, because for me that gets a lot really tight, especially all the tables and side tees that we're doing. Those glute muscles are really working a lot. I'm going to stay on this side and just roll over that hip and come back. And so gently just rolling on the top part of the glute here. I'm going to go over to the other side. Left. Just rocking here. Again, my hands are supporting the stability of the foam roller. Very nice. And let's bring our feet onto the floor and roll ourselves forward. And begin your foam rolling onto your back. Lengthening. And moving up the spine. Very good. I like to keep my hands behind my head for a little bit of support. And then wherever you feel tight, you can spend a little bit more time there. But you're just going all the way up the spine. And as you know, my shoulders are always the tightest. So once I get to that area, I'm going to spend a little bit more of my time here. And making sure that we're breathing. Pausing if you need to. I'm close to the top of my shoulders. Hold on. And I'm just going to take a pause here and open up my upper back, putting my hips on the floor. Just opening up onto my mat. Allowing my foam roller to support me. My hands lengthen towards the back. Both feet are parallel on the floor. Very good. I'm going to bring my hands behind my head to help support lifting my head up. And now I'm going to rotate, I was going to say downstage, towards the camera. I'm going over that shoulder blade. Getting into the back of that shoulder. Also the top of the deltoid. Again, Horton, we do a lot with the arms. Well, then ballet is the same, so I feel like my arms are always a little bit tight. I want to take myself over towards the other side, so I'm just shifting the pelvis to support me as I come over. And again, just rocking slightly over that shoulder and back. Taking a few rocks. Very good. And I'm going to continue to rock myself all the way over. Get into my tricep. And so as I do this, my hand, when I'm at the lowest part of my foam, the foam roller, the foam roller is into my armpit. As I rotate down, I'm going to change the hand so the palm is facing up. And then when I come out, the palm is going down. So I'm taking the spiral rotation over the muscle to allow it, to just break up that lactic acid and give the muscles a little break. Very good. I'm going to switch myself up and over to the other side. And then same thing, getting into that tricep. And so I'm going to put the foam roller towards the armpit. My palm is flat on the floor. And I'm going to roll down it and change the hand as I do so. Very good. My left side's not as tight as my right, which is okay. That's normal to have one side a little bit tighter than the other. Ooh, let's just take our wrists, bring the wrists onto the mat. So the back of the hand is going to be down. And then just bringing the shoulders over the wrist, stretching out the hands. Very good. And now we're going to get into the front of the body. So we're going to line up the foam roller at the top of the knee, making sure that we're not rolling over the joint, but that we're staying on the muscle. So I'm not going to be on my kneecaps at all. I'm above the knee, and I'm going to roll out we're going to do our quads. We're going to do our IT band on the side. We're going to get into the hips and the hip flexor up in the front. All right. And so position myself onto the foam roller. And again, in this position, it looks similar to a plank. So you want to be engaging those abdominals to help support the spine as well. And just gently rolling. For me, I have to, I turn my feet in a little bit because when my legs are turned out, I'm not really getting the tightest part of that quad. For me, I turn my feet in. Ooh, yes, hello. And just gently, in the same way that we worked up the back, we're doing the same thing, but going up the legs on the front side. And I'm engaging those abdominals to help support me. And I'm gonna come back towards the top. Ooh, and for me, I'm starting to twist towards my right leg and getting sort of the outside of the quad. Ooh, that's often where I feel a lot of tightness. You might feel a little bit more on the inside, so feel free to focus on the part of the quad that feels the tightest to you. It's also quite painful, so if you're feeling like this is a lot, yeah, it is. I'm gonna rotate myself back to both legs. Breathing and trying to just relax a little bit. And I'm gonna open myself towards the outside of the left because that's, oh, Jesus. That's where it's really tight for me. Ooh, hello, come through quads. My goodness. Again, being mindful and careful not to be on your kneecaps at all. Then I'm gonna come back towards the center, and I'm gonna do one more round of each side. And I'm rotating towards the right. Very nice. And back to the center. And towards the left. I can feel it moving up. You ever get a massage and you feel them taking the knots from one side of the body and like bringing them all the way up? Like my folks, they bring it all the way to the top and then release the knot at the top. I feel like that's what the foam rolling does sometimes for my legs. Is I can feel the tightness releasing, and it's almost like it's like traveling up, and then it gets to the top, and I'm able to sort of focus a little bit more. Very good. I'm going to start moving into my hip. So I'm at the top of my hip, and I'm just going to roll my pelvis towards it and away. Same thing like we do with the shoulder, same thing that we've done with the forearm. Very good. I'm going to go to the other side. So I'm at the top of the hip, right at the crease, and coming back. Very good. I'm going to take a second and reposition. Let's go to the IT band. So your IT band is on the side. It goes this way across and connects into the knee. So we're going to get the whole. We're going to start it up here, and again, that same sort of spiraling action that we've done with the arm, that we've now done, with the quads and the hips a little bit. We're going to take that same spiraling action, so we go all the way through that IT band and sort of break that active acid up or that tightness up. So for me, I'm on the outside of my left leg, and I'm going to rotate myself. Hold on, which way am I going? I got to be a little bit more further on. There we go. So I'm on the side. Woo! And I'm just going to start right on the outside of the leg. Oh my goodness. Wow. And when you feel the tightest parts, you can spend a little bit more time there. I feel like I'm already sweating. I don't know why. I didn't realize that my legs were so tight. And I'm now going to start to rotate. So I'm here and I'm going to rotate across as I'm coming up and down the leg. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that one was a lot. Okay, I think that's enough on that side. I can come back. So what happens is when it's really tight or if it's painful, I'll do a little bit, switch sides, and then come back and do a little bit more. So that's what I'm about to do. Right here on the opposite side. So now I'm going to be on the right, but I still want to face you. Ooh. And so we start to go across and get the outside of the leg. My right's not as bad as my left today. It's not bad. Very good. Ooh. And I'm gonna bring my pelvis down and have a seat. I think that's all I can manage today. I might come back to the left side again, but ooh, I feel like I'm like sweating. It's so hard. Calves. So again, just positioning the foam roller underneath the calf. It's almost like swing. I feel like the leg action of like a swing. And so I'm just here swinging, going it to the bottom of the legs. Again, I talked about this last week that, you know, the tightness of the calves really impact the foundation, right? So it impacts your ankles, it impacts your feet. Especially as we're aging, we're like, oh, my feet feel so tight, or they feel, you know, things start to feel different than they did, you know, years in the past. And a lot of that is because we don't spend enough time with the lower part of our body, you know, especially in dance. Like, we stretch our hips and we're stretching our quads and we're working on our port bras and like all these things, but we're not really paying attention to the work that the lower legs are doing and that built up tension that exists. And what happens is the calf ends up just pulling. And similar, I don't know the name of the muscle that's on this side, but there's a similar sort of wraparound muscle that connects into the ankle, just like the IT band that comes across and connects into the knee. There is a muscle that goes across the outside of the calf and connects into the ankle. And so just like we spend time with our IT band and making sure that that's like straight, we also want to take some time with the outside of the calves and the bottom. Woo! Right where that muscle is going to turn into your tendon there and connect into the Achilles. It's funny because I don't realize, like, I don't feel a lot of pain in my ankles or my legs, but then when I get on the foam roller, I'm like, oh, it's very painful. Okay, I'm gonna go to the outside a little bit. And actually, I'm gonna get my lacrosse ball. So I talked about this last week. The foam roller is great for the larger muscles, and when we get to the smaller muscles, sometimes we need a little bit more targeted pressure. So I'm just gonna grab my lacrosse ball real quick. And I like a lacrosse ball just because of the firmness of it. It's very, very hard. Yeah. But you could use a tennis ball if that works well for you, or a pinky ball. A pinky ball is like in between a lacrosse ball and a tennis ball. For me, a tennis ball, like, I just squish them, just straight up, they're flat. And a pinky ball is nice, but I really, really like the firmness of the lacrosse ball. So I'm gonna bring myself down. Woo! And this is also intense, and you can even probably feel, if your legs are as tight as mine, you can feel the like clicking, all of that tension that's in the muscle, and just sort of releasing that. Ooh, I love this though. It's painful, but also. And I'm gonna go right into the center of the calf. You think about all like the releves that we do, or just any of the balances. And I feel like in the Horton technique, you know, a lot of stuff is on one leg, so we're constantly asking one leg to support the frame of the body. And yeah, there are elements that are working in opposition, like the position of the arms, and, you know, if we're off, you know, being asymmetrical in some way, that there are other body parts, but at the same time, the foundation, those legs, are the ones that are really taking on a lot of the responsibility, yeah? Woo! I'm just going a little bit deeper into the calf and going higher towards the back of the knee, but I'm not going into the back of the knee, just the top part of that calf. Going to the outside. I have a very large calf. I'm going to position the ball a little bit lower. A little lower. Whew. Just taking some circles here. Very good. And I'm going to go to the outside of the foot, close to the ankle. So I'm going around that. Yes. I don't know. You probably didn't hear that click, but that was nice. Nice little pop there. I'm going to go to the outside and then the arch of the foot. So I'm kind of going the outside and into the arch. I'm going to go to the metatarsals and just sort of stretch the toes a little bit. And I'm going to switch to the other side and get my other leg. Ah! This actually is like, do the same thing, just moving through the calf, and you'll feel it in your body where where it's a little tighter, and the tightness is in my body. It shows up as pain. It feels painful. But yeah, that's just, to me, that's telling me that I need to do this more often, and I don't do enough. So that's just my information that I'm gathering. The top part of my calf is on the left is not as tight as the right, so that's good, I guess. I'm going to move the ball further down. The bottom of my calf, right as it's going into the Achilles tendon, that is really tight for me. I'm going to go lower, so I'm just taking my time and moving incrementally down. Go to the outside of the foot. You know, your feet are made up of a lot of muscles and ligaments and tendons, and so they also need a lot of love and care. Yes, stretching those toes. I was just talking to some friends yesterday, and I'm like, my feet are wider now over this year and a half than they were before, just because I spend so much time barefoot and dancing and all that. I'm not wearing like heels, and you know, I quit my corporate job towards the end of 2019, right before the pandemic. So you know, I'm not wearing like dress shoes or anything, and a lot of times I'm wearing just my sneakers because I walk a lot, and so my feet are definitely like widening, which is nice because now I have a wider base when I'm doing any of my balances, so it's really great, but also now my feet are like wider. All right, very good. Whew. Let's get into our hips and stretch them out a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my yoga blocks. And again, just bring your awareness into your own body and whatever is coming up for you. Taking inventory of that. Like I can feel that my neck is a little tight. And usually, like when your neck is tight, it's something that's happening like further down the spine. Yeah, and that's all good while I continue to like try to drink this coffee. Okay, I'm gonna send my left leg forward. And actually I have my little knee support here. And I'm going to gently just rock myself front and back, not trying to stretch, but just getting a little bit of action into the joint. Allowing the blood to flow and let the body know that we're about to stretch. Very good. And on the next time that we're forward, we'll just stay forward. Engaging those abdominals, trying to find that squareness in the pelvis. Again, not pushing down into my hip flexor, I'm actually really lifting up and anchoring myself on either side, finding that length so that the hip flexor can just respond on its own terms. I'm going to press my back toe under the floor and lift my knee up. Ooh, just lengthening here. I'm going to bring my hips all the way up, drop my head down. Keeping the hips square. And relax. You can shake your head yes and no. And slide that knee forward again and just come to that lunge. Opening up the chest so we're not too round. And lift the hips up. Drop the head. Shake the head yes and no. And again, taking that lunge down. Putting your back knee onto the floor. Retucking the toes. Just sort of hanging here for a second. Engaging those abdominals. Opening up the chest, trying not to round. And now I'm going to send the pelvis back. I'm going to flex that front foot. I'm going to wiggle the foot right and left if that feels good. Relaxing the back ankle so that the toes are not sort of arched up, but that you're really feeling the whole top of the foot on the floor. Hips are square. Very good. And let's take another stretch forward. And release that. Let's change legs. Bringing my right leg forward this time. And gently rocking back and forth. Getting the blood to circulate first. And the next time that you're front, we'll just stay front. Again, engaging those abdominals. Anchoring myself in the front. Opening up my chest. Tuck the back toe under and lift the knee. Pressing those hands into the floor, into your yoga blocks. And straightening the leg, dropping the head. Shaking the head yes and no. Ooh, I'm feeling a lot of lengthening in my hamstrings. And bend the knee back down. And straighten the back leg to square. And bend the knee. Coming down. Very good. And bring the back knee down. Release the toes. And send the pelvis back. Flexing the front foot. Lengthening the back of the leg and pressing that left foot into the floor. So the whole top of the foot is all the way down. It's like you're pointing the foot almost. You can sort of wag the right foot. Ooh, feeling those hamstrings lengthening. Ooh, breathing into that space. And bend the knee forward. Very good. And let's bring the legs back. And let's just take a child's pose. So you bring your toes together, knees to the outside of the mat, and just relax the body down. Settling into those hips a little bit. You can rock side to side if that feels good. Pressing the hands into the floor. Very good. And we're going to come back up. And tuck your toes under, and let's take a down dog. Pressing into the floor, lengthening the back of the legs, stretching out those calves, pushing the hands into the floor, all 10 fingers on the floor, trying to get the weight evenly, just in the same way that when we're standing and we're on our feet, that we want our weight to be even over the 3 points of the feet. We also want our weight to be over the 3 points of the hands, softening the knees, and send the pelvis back up. Very good. We're going to come forward and down. Let's go to our pigeon. Again, I got my yoga block ready so that I can support the outside of my leg. And I want to start with my left leg. So I'm going to turn around. so that when I place the yoga block, you'll be able to see how I'm placing it. So I'm going to sit on the floor in my fourth position with the right leg inverted. So setting up my left leg as parallel as possible to begin just feeling that. For me, I just want to take a moment and feel my spine, assessing this work that I've done. I'm rolling my shoulders back a little bit. Now I'm going to send the right leg behind me. Very good. And I'm going to take my yoga block and set it right underneath my left hip, adjusting my left foot a little further forward, walking myself down. And then I'm really trying to keep the back leg parallel. So I don't want to keep the hips up on this diagonal. I want to find in that same way that we find our flat back and the hips are square. I'm trying to find that squareness as I come down to stretch in my pigeon. So the back foot is parallel and I'm rotating almost like a front T as well. That's another way to think about it, is in your front T, you're constantly trying to find that rotation to keep the squareness of the pelvis. And so that's what we're trying to do here as well in that pigeon. And just breathing and relaxing into the body, not trying to stretch anything, really just supporting the shape, and the body will respond accordingly. I'm going to walk my hands up. Ooh, just open up those hips a little bit more. Again, trying to find that squareness. Not gripping in the hips, but supporting, creating an environment where the hips are supported so that they can just lengthen on their own. I don't have to try to stretch them. And for me, I'm going to try to release the block today. Bring my hips down onto the floor. Woo! Hello. Yes. And sending the pelvis over, releasing the back leg to the front, just shaking that out. Very good. I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to switch around so that you can again see where I put the block. I'm going to come over onto the right. Left hip is inverted. Just finding that fourth position first on the floor. Ooh, feeling my spine lengthening. Breathing, taking a deep breath in and exhaling. Very good. And I'm going to make sure that my leg is as parallel, 90 degrees as possible. Hands on either side of the legs as I lift myself up and send the left leg back. Taking the yoga block, I'm going to slide the yoga block under my right hip. Maybe adjust the right foot if you need to a little bit to find a little bit more of a 90. Squaring the pelvis so that I'm not leaning to one side. So if you're leaning to one side, that means that maybe the front leg is too far forward. You can bring the leg in a little bit. But we're constantly, again, thinking about trying to get the pelvis square. So I don't want the pelvis to be tilted like this. I'm trying to get this top side, the outside, to rotate. So it's very parallel. And once I find a position that feels sort of comfortable or stable, I'm gonna walk myself forward. And just hang here and just breathe and relax. If you want to use your other block to rest your head, you can. Sometimes I do that as well. That feels helpful to me. Just allows my body to relax on its own because I have a very tight body. So these positions, although they're meant to open you up, without the supports, my body just gets tighter. So I want to help create a situation where my body can sort of relax on its own. And very good. Let's take our hands and walk our hands up. Ooh. And open up the chest. Just breathing here. Holding that. Again, not trying to stretch anything, just finding the position and breathing into it and allowing the body to just react the way that it will naturally to soften itself. And I'm going to take a moment and go for my right side. I'm gonna remove the block. Ooh, and send my hips down further. Ooh, this one's much tighter. The hips are square. Very good. And coming back off of that center, releasing the leg around to the front, straightening those legs. Just let the blood recirculate. We'll put our feet flat on the floor and take your windshield wiper side to side, and you'll feel that stretch happening. Very good. We're going to stretch our arches. So I'm going to take us and flip us onto our shins. Tuck your back toes under. And we're going to walk ourselves up and try to sit on those heels. Ooh, hello. This does not feel very comfortable, but we want to stretch those toes and stretch up those arches a little bit. And rock yourself forward and just release the toes. You can take a child's pose if that feels good. And let's do another round. Tuck the back toes under. Ooh! Yikes. Alright, I think that's enough for this position for me. Release the toes. Ooh, very good. Alright, let's go to our down dog. Send the pelvis up, pushing into the floor, hollowing out those armpits. We're going to do a little flow. So I'm going to come forward to my plank, bring my elbows in and lower myself down. Lift up the chest. And now when I come down, I'm going to lift my hips up and send my body back. And now from here, I'm going to roll myself up and forward, opening up the chest and dropping down. Send the pelvis back again. Lifting and rolling up and forward. Let's do two more, opening up the chest. Send the pelvis down. Roll down. This is the third one. And up. Opening up the chest. One more. Lifting the hips. Try to keep those elbows in as we press back. Ooh, hello. Hold it up. And open. Ooh, very good. That is enough for me. Shake up those wrists. My wrist really cannot hold a whole lot. So I was a gymnast for much of my childhood, and I always had like wrist fatigue. Like I could not do a lot of the things. My wrist be killing me. Alright, I'm not gonna do splits today. I'm just not feeling like my body wants to do splits. But feel free if you want to take a moment and just sort of like go to your splits, you can do that. I'm gonna transition us to our warm-up and a little bit of conditioning technique for a small space, and then we'll go to our phrase. I hope that we're doing all right. I'm just looking at the time and noticing it's 9:30 already, so that's an hour. I try to do, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour, but I think if I'm being honest, it's really just, it's not 45 minutes, it's always an hour. Very nice. All right, go ahead and just lift the mat and put the mat to the side. I'm going to use my mat again when we do coccyx balance, so I'm just moving it over. You can shake your legs out here at the top and just see how the body is feeling. I'm going to put this light on over here. Very good. Woo. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, hi. Morning. sure. Oh, I thought I had my scarf. Oh, you know what? I have one over here. Yes, thank you very much. Awesome, let me tie this here. Alright, we're going to start in parallel second. Head is going to roll around to the right 4 counts. Then we add the torso 4 counts. You're going to roll yourself down in 2 counts with bent knees, straighten the legs 3, 4, stay there and hang for 4 counts. We're going to roll ourselves up in 2 counts, plie and bring the arms up 3, 4, flat back forward 5, 6, arms forward 7, 8, plie, take the flat back down 1, 2, roll yourself up 3, 4. We do the same thing on the left. We do it again, right and left. Then we take our high lateral on the right side. 1, gesture leg is parallel, arm over 2, shift to the other high lateral, shift again, grand plie, take your releve, in heels down, left side, high lateral, add the arm, shift to the right, to the left, grand plie in the center, and straighten, half turn to the back, right 1, add the arm 2, you take a quarter turn to the side, 3, 4, stay here, grand plie 5, 6, 7, 8, half turn on the left, 1, add the arm 2, quarter turn to the front, 3, 4, grand plie, straighten, releve, and down. You go into our flat back, so we'll face the side, flat back for 2, add the arms for 2, plie, change the arms all the way to the back, 3, 4, contract 5, 6, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, 6, take your contraction on 7, 8, back out to your flat back, 1, 2, arms forward, 3, 4, we lift up 5, 6, I'm going to go down stage so that I can stay facing the camera. Hips are going to be square, so I'm not changing my pelvis, but I'm finding that stability on the bottom half and cutting that here, elbows, close and lift, face the front, 1, 2, releve 3, 4, arms come in, 5, and open up 6, 7, find your center on 8, we do the other side, flat back 1, 2, arms forward 3, 4, plie, change the body, 5, 6, contract 7, 8, flat back out, 1, 2, arms forward 3, 4, lift yourself up on 5, 6, now we're going to go down stage again, this is 7 and 8, and step to the front, 1, 2, releve 3, 4, arms come in, 5, and open 6, 7, center on 8, all right, arms will come up and down, 4 counts at the end of that, yeah, here we go. 5, 6, 7, head to the right, 4 counts. 2, add the torso. Roll it down, plie 2 counts. Straighten. Stay here, hold. 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll it up, 2 counts. Plie, arms up. Open the chest, flat back, engage the abdominals, arms forward. Plie down, roll it up, head to the left, 1. Add the torso. Roll it down, bend the knees, 2 counts. Straighten. Stay here, 1, 2, 3, 4, roll it up, 2 counts. Plie. Open the chest, engage your abdominals, arms move to your second, forward to your high parallel, plie down. Roll it up. Head to the right, 1. Add the torso. Roll it down, bend the knees. Straighten the legs. Hang here. Roll it up, 2 counts. Plie. Open the chest. That's a quarter turn ground plie. Flat back to the right. 2 counts. Arms. Plie change. Let's take an undulation. Undulate down, 2 counts. 1, 2, roll it up. 3, 4, add the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, open up. 6, 7, 8. Very good. We did it. Feet articulations, tendus, weight shifts. So we've been doing this. Demi, releve, releve, demi, feet, releve, plie, plie, releve, feet, 1 set slow, 1 set double time. Tendus, front, they alternate. Front, side, back, front, side, then left. Front, side, back, front, side. We do this with the arms. Your arms are going to change one position for each direction change. So natural low, middle parallel, high parallel, second, demi second, open Egyptian, close Egyptian, high diagonal. Same thing on the left. 1 set slow, 1 set double time. Then we do our weight shifts. I'm going to add some direction changes here. So we're going to go 4th position front, face the side, grand plie second. Stay to your grand plie as you come to first. Passe up, send the pelvis back. 4th position, face the front, grand plie, heels together, passe, switch. Front, open up to the side, stay to the side, heels together, passe to the back, face the front, stay to the front, heels together, passe. Part 2. We go front, we open side, you're going to take a quarter turn into your passe or coupe to the front. Left, we go back, sorry, not left, right leg goes back, but we will face the left, grand plie, and then you're going to take your quarter turn outside and stay, 6, 7, 8, switch. We go front, open up, inside quarter turn and stay, back, closing, outside, quarter turn and stay. Part 3, we go front, we open up to the right, you're going to take a 3/4 inside turn to face the back. Staying to the back, we go back, open up to that same side, 3/4 outside turn, then the left. Front and open, 3/4 inside turn, and then we go back, same side, 3/4 outside turn. Yeah, good luck. Let's see how it goes. You know what? I wanted to use a different song. Hold on. I feel like kitchen classes is where I try other things. Did I not write it down? I did not. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. Let me just pull up this music. So we're going to start in our natural first. And time from the top. We go 1, 2, left foot, and 1, 2, side, back, front, side, foot, and open. Stay to the back. Left foot, and 1. Open, stay to the back, and stay. Quarter turn, front, stay to the back. Outside, switch, front, and inside, stay to the back. Outside, stay, and front. This floor is very sticky. Ooh, to the back. Same side, and switch. Front, open, 3/4. Back, outside, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Shake that out. Ooh, it's so interesting doing this so early. What a difference 30 minutes make. Just kidding. Not really. So let's do some leg swings. So 4 leg swings, high lateral, 6, 7, 8. We know this. Promenade around 8 counts. We're gonna go to our lateral T in 4 counts. We're gonna stay in our lateral T for 4 counts. We're gonna passe up on 1, 2. Take your side lunge down on 3, 4. Come to your first position, 5, 6. Left leg out, 7, 8. Ready for the left. 4 leg swings, high lateral, promenade around 8 counts, lateral T 4 counts. Stay there 4 counts. Passe up, side lunge, come to your first, right leg. 4 leg swings. We're gonna go to our front T. So we talked about this in our pigeon, right? Really making sure that the pelvis is gonna be as square and parallel as possible. So actually in class last night, I went around and really helped. This was in stag position, but I was helping people to really feel that parallel. And parallel is a lot more parallel than we think, right? You really are rotating inside. Not just, can I balance and stay in the shape? Because oftentimes it's a little bit misleading when we feel like we're in the shape, but we're not actually rotating, right? If anything, you're in the shape and you should be feeling like, almost like you're like sort of teetering, right? Because if you're really with a square pelvis, that means that a lot of the outside of you is towards this side. So you're not directly in the center. When you lift the hip, you're not directly over that standing leg. When the hip is lifted, we feel a little bit more balanced because the weight is over that standing leg. But what I'm asking you to do is make sure that your weight is going to be directly in the center of both legs, even though you're not standing on both legs. So that requires this inner thigh, the standing inner thigh, and the transverse abdominis, like this quadrant, to really work. These 2 muscle groups have to really work together in order to find that stability. Otherwise, what happens is we lift to find that balance, but it's just because it's too much of a responsibility to be all the way here without falling over. So I just invite you to bring your awareness to that, especially since I'm not in your house with you. I can't like touch you and rotate your leg for you so you can feel that, but I'm trying to be as descriptive as possible. So once we get into our front T in 4 counts, we're going to contract in for 2, out for 2, in for 2, roll it all the way up, come down the elevator into the basement, take your deep lunge. We'll stay here for 4 counts. Face the front in that lunge on the right side for 8 counts. Tailbones up for 4 counts. And then we're going to roll up for 4 counts. Left leg and tendu. You're ready for the other side. 4 leg swings. We find that front T really squaring the pelvis as much as you can. Contract in for 2, out for 2, in for 2, all the way up. Down the elevator into the basement. We stay here for 4 counts. Face the front for 8 counts. Tailbones up, head down, 4 counts. Roll it up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Part 3, 4 leg swings. We're going to go right into our lateral T. We're going to plie for 2 and straighten, plie for 2 and straighten, passe up in 2 counts, developé to the front for 2 counts, lift and open the chest to your side, passe again, side lunge down, first, left tendu, left side. Yeah? Consistency builds strength. So these are all things that we know in our bodies that we've done multiple times all the time. And I believe that that allows us to really tap into the strength and the stamina that it takes to do each of the positions. All right, let me go to my leg swings. Yes. Hold on, let me see something. I was trying to switch it up, but I don't think I'm going to. Let me see, I have one more option. Yeah, we can do this. Ready? 5, 6, 7, and we swing across the 1. High lateral. Promenade 2. Lateral T, 4 counts, 1. Stay here, hold. Crossing up. Side lunge. First. Left leg. And swing 1. High lateral. Stay. Promenade 8 counts. Lateral over. Stay here, hold. Lock it up. And lunge. Cut first. Right leg. And another 1. We're going to our front knee. Square the pelvis. And in. Out. Up and in. All the way up. And down. Stay here, hold. Face the front. 8 counts. Elbows up, 4 counts. Pull it up. Left leg. And another 1. Empty. In. Out. All the way up. And down 1. Face the front. 8 counts. Elbows up. Roll it up. Spiral T. 1. Plie. Up. Oscillation. Down. 5, 6, 7. Last side and 1. Lateral T. Plie 2 count. Again. Cross it up. To the front. Cross it. And down. In. And out. 5, 6, 7, and ooh, shake it out. Not too bad, not too bad. Whew. I feel like I'm still sleepwalking, to be honest. Let's come down on our mat and go into our hip flexors. So we'll do our variation on 7. Let's do fortification 10 with a side fall ending. And then let's get into our abdominals. So we'll do our transverse, 4 counts up, 4 counts down 4 times. We'll do that. We'll come all the way up to our coccyx balance, 4 counts up, 4 counts down. We know that. Twice, then 2 counts. We're gonna go right into our sequence. We're not gonna do the 2 counts 4 times. We're just gonna come up on 1, 2, shift to the right butt cheek on 3, 4, extend out on that diagonal, 5, 6, come back to your center, 7, 8, lie it down, 9, 10, 11, 12, other side, up on 1, 2, shift it, 3, 4, extend it, 5, 6, bring it back to the center, 7, 8, down, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll do that again, right and left. And then I think we'll pause there. Yeah? Let me grab my mat. When we're going to do fortification 10, we want to make sure that our head is towards the left when we're lying down to start. Arms are going to be over the head. That way when we take our spiral and we go around on this side, we'll be on the head is towards the right. When we sit up, I'm going to make the end part of the fortification 10, I'm going to make that in 2 counts. So we sit up on 1, 2, open the legs, 3, 4, come up onto your shins, 5, 6, arms up on 7, 8. You're going to take your whatever, if you've done it to the right, we're going to take a right lateral. 5, 6, 7, side fall out on 8. Right leg comes to the front in your 4th position. Step the back leg around, spiral yourself to the side, and then lie down. You'll be ready for the left side. All right. We've done this many, many times. Let's start with the right leg inverted on the floor for the beginning of variation on 7. Ready? 5, 6, 7, right hip, 2 count. And 4 counts up. 4 counts down. 2 counts. Legs and pull. Roll up, undulate up and down. For 16. Walk to the back, 4 counts, 1. Quad stretch on the right. Left quad stretch. Walk it up. Change legs. Slide back down. 4 counts to your back. 1, 2, arms over your head. Sitting up. 1. And down. And up. Right leg sit tall. And up. Left leg. Arms by your side. Right ball of the foot. 1. Hips. Have the leg. Down. Left. 1. Sitting up. 2 counts. Legs to the right. And up. Arms up. Lateral leg. Right leg front. Take it around. Lie down. 5, 6, 7, and up. 1. Left foot to top. right side, left foot, 1, hips, right, 2 counts sitting up, that's left, and up, 4 counts, 5, 6, head and heels, 4 counts up, 1, and down, and up, and down, again, up, and down, one more, down, all the way up, 4 counts, and down, up, down, sequence, shift, extend, in, 4 counts down, up, 4 counts down, again, same thing, up, extend, 4 counts down, last one, down, very good, knees in, and drop your knees to one side, take a twist, other side, turn onto your belly, arch it up, sit back on your knees, let's take some push-ups, coming all the way up, 5, 6, you can be on the floor, I'm going to do them on the wall, 10, come on, last one, oh, and we're done, very good, how did we do, hopefully we did all right. I'm going to go ahead and take my mat up off the floor, and I think I'm actually like done with it. I'm just watching the time. Yeah, so we're making pretty good time. So let's do one more thing in the center, then I will stop this video, save it, and then start another one. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I have a new phrase today, and I don't know what's going to happen with the music, and I will be very frustrated if I go to start the phrase and then Instagram kicks me off because of the music and I lose this entire video. So we're gonna do one more thing in the center. Listen to me like we in like a dance phase. We're gonna do one more thing standing, and then I'll stop this, save it, log back in, and we'll do the phrase. And then for the YouTube folks, the video will just be like one long video. All right. So we're gonna take a more stretch on that hip flexor. So we're gonna start with our right leg in tendu. We're gonna bring the elbow to the right side, take a pelvis press. So I'm not just crunching down, I'm actually lifting up to create space to go forward so that I can open this up and lengthen. So I'm going to my coupe on 1, 2. I'm gonna carve out the right side of the body, bring it to that diagonal, 3, 4. Open up, standing on my left leg, right? Engaging the glutes so that my pelvis is nice and stable and that the hip flexor is open, my chest is lifted. 5, 6, I shift over to the other side. 7, 8. Again, cut 1, 2, 3, 4. Stand on that leg. 5, 6, 7, 8. We do that again, right and left. Then we're gonna go to our sequence. So you're gonna come in 1, 2, contract forward 3, 4. You can either step or turn into your coupe. 5, 6. lift yourself up, low attitude. Arms are up in high parallel, 7, 8. You're going to take a left lateral. So the left side of the body is going to go to the left. Visually, the arms will go to the right. You have 2 counts. 1, 2. And from my attitude, as I take a plie down, I'm going to lift under that thigh because I'm starting to set myself up for where my passe is going to land. So when you're taking your curve, if you bring everything down, then you got a lot of work to come from here and to come under. What I want you to do is, as you take that plie, that we're opening up so that when you take your turn into your passe, the thigh is already there to face the back. We're here by 4. You take your side lunge down on 5. You're going to plie and come into your table, 6, 7, 8. You're going to tilt the table, 1, 2. You're going to extend the leg, 3, 4, so it's going to be parallel on that diagonal. And then you're going to send the pelvis over and go to it, circle all the way down, 5, 6, 7, left leg out. You're ready for the left side. Cut 1, 2, 3, 4, step and turn, 5, 6, lift it up, 7, 8. Right lateral, 1, 2, curve 3, face the back on 4 in that passe, down 5, right into the center to pull straight up into your table. Tilt the table, extend the leg, 2 counts apiece, go to the leg, drop the head, circle yourself around, Tondo on the right side. Okay. Oh shoot, this is another one that I'm not even sure about the music. Ugh. You know what? I'm going to use music that I've used before. Actually, can I use this one? I think I use this one. Oh, we did it for him. Yeah. Ready? Right leg under. 5, 6, 7, and we're cutting 1, 2, change the body, 3, 4, up, shift, and into it. 6, 7, 8. Whew, not too bad. Not great, but not too bad, yeah. So interesting to really let yourself go in a small space. I'm like, I can't let myself go. I'm gonna fall over. Also, I feel like I'm still like sleeping. So there's that. All right, I'm gonna pause this video, save it really quick, and then come back on for the phrase. If you're staying for the phrase, great. If you're not, have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll see you in a few minutes. Yes, the kitchen is getting brighter. We love that. We love that. All right, so we're gonna go to the phrase, and I'm gonna try to match this phrase to the phrase that we've been doing in class. So let me just pull up the music. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. Let's see. Hopefully they don't cut me off. All right, so we're starting just facing the front. It's gonna be left arm, left leg. You're gonna step behind yourself. 1, and it doesn't have to be a deep lunge. So I really want, for this phrase is a lot more expressive in the body, meaning you don't have to focus so much on the execution of the technique, but I want you to think about the energy of the movement and where that energy is taking you, and allow the technique to support you in doing that, but not necessarily having to focus fully on it, right? So whatever the technique it is that you have, right? The amount of strength that you have, or the amount of awareness that you have, not being hyper focused on that, but trusting that it's there and that it is going to take you and support you. You're not going to end up on the floor. You're not going to injure yourself. That way you can be really fully present in the energy and how the energy of the movement is moving through you to get from one place to the next. So I just invite you in this phrase to do that. So stepping back on the left arm is going to circle around the head. You're going to step yourself out on the left. You're going to come in, lifting up the left leg and stepping out. Take the left leg and you're going to go around. So cross the left leg over the right. Arms are going to come over the head. Untwist. Step out on the right leg, because you're about to take a turn if you want. Yeah. So we're here. We step back on the left. 1. So now I got this energy in this hand, and I'm going to let it go, like almost like, give me the flick of the wrist. Bam. Yeah. Let it go out, but then collect it again, bring it down to go up and send it back out. So it's very circular. Then from here, step the left leg around, arms come up. Step out on the right. You're going to come in with the right leg. You can just come in and find your balance, or you can take yourself all the way around and you're going to step forward to come down. Ideally, if we were doing this like in a dance space, we could take that as a back T. But for now, just the leg can be low. Let me face the side so you can see. If I'm here, the leg can be low. That way I can feel the pelvis. It's really about getting that sensation of the pelvis pushing you forward. And even in the studio, that's what I had been advising and guiding people towards, is that even when you're in your back T, right? If I was all the way in my back T, that it's not about me putting the foot down and then stepping up, because that puts a lot of pressure on your lumbar spine, but it is about using the strength of those glutes and the pelvis to push yourself forward. So we can still practice that concept with the leg being low. So if I'm here, I can be here and then really push the pelvis forward to take my step. Yeah? Let's put those pieces together. 6, 7, left leg, left arm, 1, out, in, out, step across, out, turn around, 8, 1, hold 2. And when you come down, I want you to cross the arms. Don't bring the knees in, so we're not doing this. Keep the legs parallel, so you're still working those inner thighs, but the hands are going to be crossed. All right, let's take this with the music and see what happens. Are they going to let us play it?
Just for me to home, darling, you've been out of touch with me so often.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So far, so good. Let's take it again. So I'm just going to mark it and like face the camera so that you can see exactly how this matches with the music. So we're going right on those notes. Go around. Turn. 8, 1, 2. Yeah, one more time.
Just for me to home, darling.
It's a little bit tricky because I ain't got enough space, but that's all right. So you're hearing 2. 2, we're gonna step into our stag. Actually, no, we're not. 2, you're gonna step back on the right foot. 3, 4. Now from here, you're gonna go into your stag. So I'm gonna step on my left foot out, but I'm gonna turn the pelvis and come into my stag. Boom. We've been working on stag a lot. I don't know, it's just a goal that I have for all of you is to like have a nice stag, and that only happens with practice. So you want to almost look like a hood ornament, yeah? So the standing leg is going to be bent. That leg up in the back is also bent, and so that knee is parallel towards the floor. Again, same idea that we've been talking about since the beginning of class when we were stretching on the floor with that pigeon. The pelvis is square. So in the same way that I'm here in my flat back, or if I was in my pigeon and I would be here, or if I was in my front T and I'm here, it's literally the same thing. Keep the pelvis square and that back leg is parallel. So you're here, 2, you step back. 3, 4, you're gonna take your stag. 5, 6, we're gonna bring it in. 7, 8. So you're gonna take that as a forced arch and a contraction. 7, 8. Hold on, I'm just trying to make sure I have the counts. 1, 2. Yeah, that's right. Here, we're gonna come out to our side T, 1. You're gonna change to the other side, 2. So we're switching in between legs, almost like a pendulum. Out, change. Yeah. Okay, let's go back from the beginning and add those pieces together. So we go around. 1, out, in, out, turn around, out, turn. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come in, 7, 8, 1, change 2. Yeah. All right, let's mark that with music. Yes, dancing like this at 10:30 in the morning. My goodness. Well, I am. I know that most of you are going to take this asynchronously, so it'll be like in the afternoon for you, but just know this is early. I'm like sleep dancing right now. But it's all good. It's all good. Here we go.
Just for me to
Ready? Here we go. And one, 2, 3, 4, 1.
darling, you've been out of touch with me so distantly. You don't give a fuck that
One more time. And then I'm going to add a little bit more just to get us to the floor, and then we'll run it a couple times. So it's not too complicated.
just for me to darling, you've been out of touch with me so distantly. You don't give a fuck that I'm all alone. Is it justified where you go at night? I see the look in your eyes, oh, it's so clear. But I'll put aside what I...
So in your stag, I'm sorry, not your stag, in your side T, you're going to take a spiral to the floor. So we're here in our side T. If we were in a studio, I would really be inviting you to send the pelvis over and travel. We don't have a lot of space, so you're gonna have to kind of go underneath yourself. I'm here, I'm gonna come down, I'm twisting my right knee, right hand. I'm gonna come all the way down to the floor, untwist, and now I'm facing stage right. The hips are gonna go up, and I'm gonna slide back, or just push back. Right from here, I'm gonna go back on my right arm. Right, left, then right hand to right leg, left hand to left leg. I push forward, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna face the side, and then I'm gonna look up, down, and don't collapse. Keep the chest open, down. Use those obliques up, and then you're gonna take yourself out to the floor. Yeah? Okay. So we were in our side T with the left leg up. Put that left leg down, twist towards the floor. Hips come up and back. Right, left, right, left, out, in, front, look up, look down, obliques, slide out. Yeah, and we'll just end it there. Let's mark that with the music. Darling.
Still, and I'll stay still, just for me to hum, hum. Darling, you've been out of touch with me so distantly. You don't give a fuck that I'm all alone. Is it justified where you go at night? I see the look in your eyes, oh, it's so clear. But I'll put aside what I feel inside, and I'm still here, and I stay here just for me to come higher.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna do this 3 times. Here we go.
You still, and I'll stay still, just for me to hum.
Left leg, hand.
Darling, you've been out of touch with me so distantly. You don't give a fuck that I'm all alone. Is it justified where you go at night? I see the look in your eyes, oh, it's so clear. But I'll put aside what I'm feeling.
Very good. 2 more. Yes, I am like sweating. Also, yes, we outside mowing the grass, doing all the things. Whew. All right, twice more.
You still, and I'll stay still, just for me to hum.
Here we go.
Hum. Darling, you've been out of touch with me so distantly. You don't give a fuck that I'm all alone. Is it justified where you go at night? I see the look in your eyes, oh, it's so clear. But I'll put aside what I feel inside, and I'm still here, and I stay here.
Yes. Last one. Let's do this. And actually, since my neighbor is mowing the grass, that means I can like turn the music up even more. Let's get it. Last one.
Still, and I'll stay still, just for me to hum, hum. Darling, you've been out of touch with me so distantly. You don't give a fuck that I'm all alone. Is it justified where you go at night? I see the look in your eyes, oh, it's so clear. But I'll put aside what I feel inside, and I'm still here, and I stay here just for me to come high.
All right, wonderful. We did it. 2 hours in the books. I'm a little bit more awake, but to be honest, I'm still like a little on autopilot, like with the sleepiness. Thank you so much for joining me, for getting me up out of my bed, motivated, starting for the day. Yeah, enjoy the however many more days we have of like sunny weather. We've already obviously been losing a lot of daylight, so I love being able to get up early because I feel like I get a jump start on the amount of light, and also the more that I'm practicing getting up early at this time, as the winter months are coming, I will do better with like my energy levels as we're like losing sunlight and like the clouds. It's always overcast in the winter. It's just, you know, a little bit more gloomy. So I'm in a very intentional practice of being present and building up my cachet of like stored energy and stored positivity so that by the time February comes, I'm gonna be all right. Okay, that's all I got. I hope that you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you.